Are you thinking about writing a book? Well, I have exactly the group for you. You need Shine Press in your life. They have a free 30-minute consultation that answers your questions and shows you what it would look like to become a Shine Press author. They're illuminating stories and empowering authors. Go to shine-press.com to learn more.
Welcome to Productive Joy with Dr. Christie, where fun meets action.
Hi, friends. Welcome to Productive Joy, the recap. I am having so much fun. I realize this is ridiculous, and it's bringing me great joy. I suppose that's the title, so it makes sense. Productive Joy is producing joy for me. I hope it's doing the same for you. But I have gotten to meet so many fascinating people that I never would have crossed paths with otherwise. I think the moral of this story is put yourself out there. Be brave enough to say, you know what? I'm going to try something new, because that's what I did a little over a year ago, and here we are. So it is May. Well, it as well as May. Let's just go with that. And the last episode aired on May 1st. And I can't believe we're this far into 2025. And I can't believe that all of these great things are happening. And here we are halfway through the year. Are you accomplishing what you set out to accomplish? It's not too late to start, right? So let's back up. Let me tell you about my two guests this week. So I had Dr. Hilary Cauthen and Leonard Scheiner. Totally fun, totally different, totally cool people. So Dr. Hilary Coffin is a sports psychologist who was a TED Talk person. She actually got to be on a TED Talk and now does all kinds of amazing things, specifically in the sports space. Now, everything that she said, though, don't not listen because you're not a sports person. Everything she said is relevant to all of us. But the biggest things that she talked about was learning to, for performance optimization purposes, slow down. Slow down and take a minute, figure out who you are and what you need, and then really great things can happen. But I think sometimes we get so, in the moment that we forget that it's okay to take a step back and slow down. Her book is called Hello Trauma, Our Invisible Teammates. I thought, okay, yeah, we all have it. And lately, I've been hearing a lot more about that big T and little t trauma, and how, like Dr. Greg Stewart talked about, how we scoop up the negative thoughts that we have based on that trauma and we plop it into whatever situation we're in, and there it sits. I don't want to do that anymore. And Dr. Coffin was super helpful at ways to not do that anymore. And I think the biggest one is just to be willing to live in it for a second and then move on, right? We can't dwell in it. So super powerful stuff, super thoughtful. And then we shifted to Leonard Scheiner, also super powerful and super thoughtful, but in the marketing space. So Leonard is a pretty cool guy. He worked his way all the way up to CMO, that's Chief Marketing Officer for an international law firm. And then he realized that he could do some things on his own. So that's what he's doing. And he is a true PR expert. And by listening to this episode, I think you will better see what it looks like to market yourself well and to kind of navigate in the space to figure out what your target audience needs, because it's not all exactly the same thing. So he and I talked about the fact that if you're marketing locally, nationally, or internationally, you might approach it a little differently. But the biggest three things that you're trying to do is brand, market, and grow. Brand meaning, who am I? Am I putting off what I mean to be putting off? Is this who I want to be? Market, people need to know that you exist, right? And then grow, people need to start coming to you to make things happen. What a simple yet powerful thing to think about. We definitely need to be a little more cognizant of the brand that we're putting out there and what we're doing with it. I'm not talking about starting a business, although some of you are and you're trying to figure that out. I'm talking about who we are, because with social media the way it is, and with all of the abilities there are to find people, you better know what you're putting out there. It matters. And they're going to be able to find the first version as well as the most recent one. So you want to be as consistent as possible with making sure that what you're putting out is what you want people to see. So, what you'll see of me is always going to be who I authentically am. I don't know how to be anything else. I really don't. I did appreciate something that Leonard said, though, about being your authentic self. He said that it's a daily challenge because as soon as we get out of bed and we start getting ready for the day, we are becoming who we have decided we are, right? And that may or may not be exactly who we want to be. And so it's up to us to figure out who we are, what our brand is, and how we're going to put it out into the world. For some of you, you're like, yeah, I don't have a brand. Yes, you do. And if you don't think you do, ask your friends, right? Oh, I'm t-shirt guy, or I'm likes to fight guy, or I'm the one that laughs all the time, or I'm whatever, fill in the blank. People know who you are. So are you being the person that you want to be? I don't know. I can't answer that for you, but you can. And so I just kind of want to bring things full circle for a second. We have had some really amazing guests on this podcast, 130 some odd episodes now. And first of all, how humbling that is for me that I have had the opportunity to talk to that many people and experience that many brilliant conversations. But I also am learning more and more how all the different types of people are what makes us amazing. And the more people we know, the more we can borrow ideas from those people and become exactly who we're intended to be. And so I'm hopeful that that's what Productive Joy is doing for you. That Productive Joy is giving you that shot of B12, that idea that maybe you didn't already have, or that thinking that maybe you'd forgotten about, and that it's becoming your way of work. And it was my goal in starting this podcast to do just that, to give people something that they could use right away, something that you could do today, tomorrow, the next day with your employees, with your friends, with your coworkers, with your spouse, that will improve things, that will create productive joy. If that's not hitting the mark, you got to tell me. If it is hitting the mark, you also have to tell me that. So please message me. You can message me on any social platform. You just look up Dr. Christie McMullen or Productive Joy. You can go to my website, aimwithus.com. And in any of those spaces, please just say, hi, I am really, excited about X, or I really hate it when you do this. I can't say that I will listen to every single thing that comes across, but I will certainly take heed, right? Because we also have to remember that there are always one-offs, right? If you say, I hate it when you wear purple, I'm so sorry, but I like the shirt. Right? But I don't think that's what you would send me. I think what you would send me is some authentic feedback. Some, hey, it's really great when you did this, or I appreciated this guest. Can you have more like that? That's what I want to help you do, is figure out the formula that you need to be able to create your own productive joy. So I'm excited that you're here. I'm honored that you're here. I'm humbled that you're here. And I hope that this podcast is bringing you some of that productive joy. And as always, I really just want you to figure out a way to turn fun into action. Guess what? I wrote a course, and it's called Women Who Lead, and you can find it at www.aimwithus.com. And all you have to do is click on courses, and you and I can spend some really quality time together learning how to make every interaction safe, logical, fun, and memorable. And guess what, guys? It would work for you too. I hope to see you there.